Oh well, mindful moodling will be starting in a few minutes. Well, you know how early I am. Anyway, just bear with me, the video's about to start soon. Thanks. Hello, good evening. Now, I'm sorry for the confusion. Very sorry. It's been down at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, then Friday, and then another day. So all it is I was going to do today, but then because I'm not on the schedule, I didn't see that Janie was on. Janie's on. So I thought, right, rather than rush her, I'll change to Friday. Then unbeknownst to me, Janie's wanted to change from today to Friday. And there you go. So I've had to change back. So it's been a bit of convoluting, but you know, these people are coming in to do live, so it's only right that they get first shot at whatever night they want. So hence I'm it. So let me just take you up a little bit. Oh, that's better. Right, sorry about that. I thought it was all set up. I must have nudged it with my hand. I brought you a bit forward tonight because it's a bit, it's creating a bit of backlight, but I'm just trying to sort. That's better. Turn the light away. So what have I got with me? I've got with the gel plate messing about I did the other day. I've got my new stamps that are coming out next week. I've got to use them because I just love them. I've got some Viva watercolours. Now, these are amazing. Now, I've not brought them on. I'll be honest with you. Put my watercolours somewhere very safe. Can't find them. I can find these ones. Can't find the others. So these are like inks, watercolour on a palette, but you can make your own version of these by making it's like a swatch and letting ink dry on it, and then it reconstitutes. So I'm just worried. Yeah, the light's coming back a bit. Let me just switch this one. Anyway, how the devil have you been? Is everybody all right? It's snowing here, raining, snowing, bright sunshine. Just don't make it mine. It hasn't got a bloody clue what it's doing. Anyway, should we have a look at what I did the other night? Sorry, I swore them. Sorry. Right, let's have a look. Do you remember that one? Oh, they look very different when they dry. I've not seen them since. Let's have a quick look. We did that one with all the, you know, I'll put it down there so you can see it. Like the impressions of the water. This one was with all the different pinks in the background and the golds and silvers. This one is like a purple with the metallics on. I didn't finish the bubble, but that's like making a bubble. I like this one. It's very subtle. It's got that, can you see the blue and the green in it? Oh yeah, you can just see it's like almost like onyx. This one is cool because it's got all the flicking on it. On my curtains as well. I've not washed my curtains yet. So this is like 3 random colours that I haven't mixed in on the plate. Then we're going to go with the up, down, round the bend, round the corner. That is just me putting colours on it. Just looking at that. Is that not square? Certainly not square. Just bear with me. That's better. Then we did you remember the brush? Yeah? I'm waiting for the other set of them. So let's go to others now. So then I did this mixed one, which I loved, where I got all the different coloured backgrounds all together. Remember I did the wood grain? and the linen. Oh, looks really cool, that, doesn't it? Then another purple. Then this is the wop up. No, it's a wipe up. You can see the gold on it. So I just move over there, so I can just go in and see who's in. Right. Hello, Thelma. Hi, Louise. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Carol. Hi, Caroline. Hi, Sue. Hello, Sharon. Hi, Linda. Hello, Michelle. I know without swapping and changes, there's not got many people in, but we can catch it later. They always do. So that's the mop up that was got. It's got very light colours. This is the 2-on-1. So I can draw on these tonight. I've got the green and purple one, and then the lunar landscape, which is cool, and then one that's a bit mucky. So what do we do with these? Well, I think what you can do is use stamps with them. So I've got some new stamps here, and I'm just going to go mad and use them, and probably shouldn't, but who cares? So this is one of my new ones. I'm not going to go through it and show you, but I don't think I've stamped that one yet. Have I? Oh, no, I'll see what I've got. Will I stamp it or not? No, that's the other set. The landscapes have done. Really cool. I don't think I've stamped this one yet. I'll show you inside, then some stencils, of course. Who would I be without my stencil? So I've got this really large stamp. I do love it. I absolutely love it. And I'm looking at something, maybe I'm thinking, I like the shape. I like the colour. I need to do some work on it. So I really like that one. I like the idea of it being round. I'm not using my lunar thing yet. Could use. No. Just go through your papers and have a look. I think I've chosen the best one. So I'm using this one. I know my circle shape isn't round, my stamp, but it's kind of round. I'll show you. Here it is, I'll let you see it. This one is called, hang on, the stamp set. Can you see? That's, and then these are all the bits that you get, which are really cool, really cool, because they're just all these little bits. They just work so well with everything. I'm sure I've just stamped this out. Oh, yeah. Rubbish. You know, I'm trying to do all prepping. And, oh, I have. I know I had. So you can see all the detail on it. The flower. Then you've got these, which can be plants. That's some shading for you. You've got some checkerboard. You've got some little trees that come with the dyes. They go with the landscapes. And then these just go everywhere. And these can make your borders and lines. So it's really useful. It's only a small set. I know how much it is. I know what it's like, money. So I'm not going to be messing about expensive ones. No. Can't do it. So I'm just going to pop that on there. And I'm just going to centre that up like that. Okay. Right. So, no. Oh, I've not moved. Did I move it? Did I move it? You silly woman. Yeah, I did. So, just bear with me. Yeah. There. So I'm using, I do a VersaFine. And all I'm oh, it's all over me now. All I'm going to do is just stamp up. And as I stamp up the stamps, what it will do is, the first one you do, always clean it and get rid of it. It's going to be a rubbish stamp, always. But the second and third after that are much better because you season. It's like seasoning a pan. Those of you know what I mean. It's when you get a pan and you've got to sort of make sure that you not burn it, but you seal it and you season it. It's a bit like that with your stamps, season your stamps. So it's perfect. Give it another one for luck. Okay, so you can just see that. Now what I am going to do is clean off my stamp because it's that VersaFine. It'll go on forever because I know what I'm like. You can see it, can't you? Because that's a background done already. So I'm going to put that back on. Right, so we've got the colours in the background. I really like the colours. So we know that I want to do it purple and greens, but how am I going to make that different from the background? Well, it would work on that as well. We'll do it on that in a minute. But I've got the planets in a minute. That'll look really cool. So I've got some of my metallics here. And I've got, so before I start, I'm going to wake them up, give them a spritz. If anyone knows of a good car for sale to a good owner, let me know. Right, so I've got them up there, move them. Do you want to see them just before? Just quickly show you. These little trees are so cool. Anyway, they're the planet. They're the landscapes. These are the dies as well. So you get all these extras. These are great little cards. They're like postcards and individual cards and tags. You get your stamping bits, and you get that will go around the sun or wherever you want. And then these are some of the stencils. So you can make it a fence. You know, this is like a mosaic. You get my flowers, obviously. But then if you look at it, it's also like a film reel. Landscapes, patterns that way. Landscapes, patterns, doodles. These look great on other pieces of work. This is a pure landscape. So, but you can use all the elements. And then another one that looks like the cogs and stuff. So something for everybody in there. The other stamps are in there. I'll use them in a minute, otherwise it'll just be a show and tell. So I've got this one, and I really do like it, but I need to bring out some really nice colours in it. So there's a couple of options you've got. You've got paints, you've got pencils. So I'm just going to show you quickly how I go about using what I have and then making it work for me, rather than me trying to make everything brand new to fit something. I don't do that. I do this, I make it fit what I want. So do I want to make sure that this is brighter? Yes, I do. So you're going to pick the green or the purple. Now it's up to you which one you use, but I like to try a bit of both. So you see how that looks purple? It's actually green. Let's go with magentas there. Boom, boom, boom. Prussian blue. That's one of my favourites. Persian blue, sorry. Very dark and green. So let me get the violet. That's violet. And what happens is when it intensifies, the pigments go back. A lot of these are stones, you see. So I've got the purple, got a bit of the green, purple again, bit of the green, and then I'll show you the colour. Oh, look at that, rubbish. Can you see that? So I know it'll go because it's a darker version. So if you remember, I'm using stamping card. So all I'm going to do is just round here, I'm going to season the paper, and all that means is I'm going to give it a bit of a wet. And the reason I'm doing that is so that the colour I'm using now doesn't soak in straight away. Because stamping card's not made to watercolour, you know, and I get people ask me all the time, why is it not stamping? Why is it not look right? Because you're using the wrong paper or the wrong paint and paper. So I'm going to bring you down a bit so you can see that bit better. Yeah. I'm going to pick up that colour I've made, bringing in other bits, and I'm just going to drop it in. Only don't do tons at once, because if you do, you'll be snookered. Just a little bit. So I'll bring this in here. And it will bleed, but it'll bleed to where you've put your paint, water, sorry. There we go. So just bring it out a little bit more. It will do more on its own. It will blend out and it'll start to split. By splitting, I mean it'll pick up the colours, like green's made of yellow and blue. So you can see it start to split to its blue, yellow, and it can have more of one than the other. So you get a yellow green or a blue green, and it all depends on which is more dominant or prominent. So just add a little bit of water there. Again, this will change the colour of the card, but it won't be like that permanently. It's just while it's wet, it's saturating the board, the card, but only put the water where you want it to be, not anywhere else, because if you don't, you're just inviting the water to slip everywhere. So there we go. Right, okay, so we've got that there. I'm going to put a little bit more water on that because I've done a bit. Now, if you look at that and you think I could do with a little bit more definition, this is the time to do it with your pencils or anything. But I quite like that. I think that's really worked nicely. So I'm going to go back to my violet and I'm going to pick a little bit of the violet up again. Now, Aviva are an Indian, a young Indian student, medical student, and he wanted to watercolour. And this, he thought, I can't watercolour because I'm not able to sort of carry it all around with me. So he did these. And I did sell them a few years ago. But you can get, this is just like using an ink. And it's very handy to, I keep it in my handbag. So what I've done is, I've got another colour that's similar, but slightly greener. You see how fast it goes in? But it's great when you use like for what I want. Just a tiny bit. Now what I'm going to do is just drop it in little places, like not a lot, like here. There. Just for the definition. And because I'm using, see, it's very strong, because I'm using the colours that are already in, don't worry if you've gone like that, because that will return back. Oh, you just go like that. I dropped a button. Can you see the splitting now? Can you see the splitting of the green and the yellow and the blue? Looks brilliant. And you can't control that. That's the best bit. So I'm just dropping it in just to get that. And just while you're doing this, just really enjoy it. Just really, really enjoy the process. Don't rush. So in here, I love it. I'm going to darken this, but I'm going to darken it with the purple now. So instead of being more to the green, it's more to the purple. Still with a bit of green. It'll just knock the, you'll see. Yeah. More purple in that actually. Right, I've got two purples now, so I can use either, and all I'm going to do is just draw in the background. So paint in the background, not draw. So I'm just going to take, like, give it the idea that It's 3D. It won't look that 3D at the moment because it's all bright and colourful and you can just see backgrounds, but it's such a brilliant way of using all your I mean, if you wanted to, you could die cut that, but I'm not going to. I like it as it is. I'm using very little. Very little. It does go a long. Oh, I love a bit of peacock blue actually, because it's a nice one. Doesn't look it, does it? Looks crazy. It's a really nice one. That it's a purpley one, so we'll just drop in a bit of that in as well. Oh yeah. Everybody's enjoyed these, so I'll do a couple more gel plates, but I'll concentrate on the others as well, doing different things, like a mixed media one or something like that, so that people have got something for everyone. You know, whether we could make these into patterns as well. So I've done that, quite like that. See how it's sort of, you can see now how it's coming together a little bit. So don't forget I've got the pearly paints as well. But just before that water spreads out anymore, I'm going to put some lines on, okay? I'm not too worried. That's it. I've got a 0.05. Not too worried about it being round, but I just want the idea of it being round. Okay, so we've got that. Now, if you want to come in and do a little bit more, that's fine. You've got some, you can pick that out or keep it, but I tend to like to sort of make a design element of that to go with the card. So whilst that is drying, I'm just going to drop in some little drawings. Now, I'm going to take you really low. Oh, low, can you go? And you're nearly off my table here. But I'm sure. There we go. So I'm going to emulate what's already on it. That's what I like about these. You can do as much or as little. So I'm looking at these and I just see start. Can you see that it's coming out with water? So I've got to be wary of that. You haven't at home. Whoa! Back, Shet, back, get up. Sorry about that. There we go. I've got to be careful of that because I'm just waiting for it to drop down again because I've only got a limited time to do it. So whereas you could just leave it to dry. So little tiny patterns. You can see how it's brought that right out now, can't you? Just going to go in with it. It is moving, isn't it? Go back. So sorry. I don't normally have this problem, do I? Right. Okay. I hope to see some of you at Sandown. And don't forget, you can get some free tickets. The Quirky Bird, we run that competition. And, you know, don't forget, we've got to have everything in so we can announce the winners. So you'll win a tin and then we'll pick it and then we'll get the name pulled out and whatever, get it sent out. So just to show you the shapes I've used, okay, I'll put it on here and then that way you're gonna see it. No, I'll splash out. Oh no, just stop that. I'll splash out the back of it. Right, just to show you the lines I've already done, the patterns. Circles. fat circles or squashed ones, lines. Yeah, 2 lines and then colour it in. And what else have I done? That, then that. Then we'll be doing that, and then I'll be showing you how to draw a leaf. So that, okay. Or another way of drawing a leaf is that way, that way, that way. So simple, really is simple. If you want to draw a bent leaf, this is the vein in the middle, and that way it's look further away from it. So we'll be doing stuff like that. So now I can go back to this. Cool. Yeah, got some nice things happening in there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a focal point of these splashes. Like that. And the reason I'm doing that is because it stops people worrying that they can't do it or they've done it wrong. Whereas if you see what I'm doing with these, it's like she's made a right mess of that, but look, she's, you know, I think there's a really good quote. If you don't like what you've got at the end, it's not the end. So we've got that there, which looks quite cute, doesn't it? So what I'm going to do is follow up with some others here. Not a lot. So there was a mark there, like a line. So all I did was draw the line on. There's a dot here that I might want to colour in. And I'll do another one here. So it's sort of like a continuation of what's happening there. Sorry, you can't see it. Just that. And some tiny ones here. Right, so that all now can be coloured in with coloured pens. It's up to you what you do. Yep, up to you. So now it's got a little bit nice now. I need the fine brush, get my riggers out, and I'm going to use my metallics. So what I'm going to do is just get a little bit of the, sorry, I've got to be careful with this because I'm knocking camera. Right, so I've got the, try and bring this in, got the white one and it's got the purple on it. So very thirsty paint this. By that I mean you've got to give it tons of water. So what I'm doing now, hopefully thin interference, purple, and it looks quite blue, which looks really cool. And you don't need a lot. Don't, please believe me, honestly, you don't want to start thickening it on because you want the colour to be sitting on top of it. Oh, hello everybody. Oh, did you, Emma? That's brilliant. Excellent, Wendy. You got your ticket, Linda, hey! That's brilliant. So cool to see. That's what I love. I love the fact that if I've done my job. If you know, I've done something and it makes you want to go out and get it. I really that's perfect. So I'm just going to go around this one a little bit. I was going to do more than one, but I'm thinking, you know, when you start on one and you get it done, next minute, you know, it's like, I'll just finish that. Been very good. Drawing and drawing and draw. 15, 16 hours a day. 11 in the morning while, no, sorry, 7 in the morning while 11 at night. Knackered. Not loving it. So now I'm going to get the dark blue. Yeah. And I'm going to go around. It's not the smallest of brushes, as you can see, because it's a long brush rather than just being a small brush. But here you can get little brushes, and it is worth investing in a good little brush. You don't need a ton of brushes. You just need a few good ones. I just dipped it in my Vim, so it'll be purple now, won't it? Oh, it's got no hand. So just dipping in the paint and just colouring in. I'm just colouring in. It's as simple as that. And you saw the gel plate how we started. It looked nauseous. Looked nasty. That coloured. It didn't look like you could make anything out of it. It just looked like a stamp on a background with nothing happening. But once you give it a minute, use the colours that are already in. Don't, unless you want, oh, I've done it again. Keep dipping it in with Vimto. If you want a clash, then go for the opposite, complementary as you call it. So, you know, green and red, purple and orange, yellow, that sort of thing. Go for the opposite one that you're using on the colour wheel. And then that actually will really complement the colour and make it jump out. If you don't want that, then just darken or vary it. No, that's not the word I'm looking for. Just vary the colours that you're already using. That's it. That's what I mean to say. Right, I just want to drop in now. I've got a little bit of blue there, dark blue. I'm going to make it a light blue because I haven't got a light blue in my palette. I've got greens but not a light blue, look. So I've got, that's on there, never mind. So I've got that, making a light one. It's just blinking out. The pattern. Because I put a little bit of the other colour in it. See? So it's not changing it per se. It's actually, well, it is. It is changing it, but it's not. It's the variant of the colour is doing the work, not me. So I've got this green here. And you don't have to be dead neat because the colouring in the background does it all for you. I've just going to paint these green leaves in. Now you can't see anything there, but when I wiggle it in a bit, I'll show you. And take the lead from the colours. Honestly, I hope most of you, if you know me by now, I'll be saying to you, where's your colour wheel? Get your colour wheel. Because that is like, it's worth its weight. Now I'm putting a little bit of the green in the blue flowers. Now, I'm not letting it touch the blue. I'm just blobbing it. Technical term, blobbing. Right? So if I wiggle it, you can see it come to light. Now, can you see it looks well dodgy? Don't worry about that. Don't worry, honestly. I'll show you why. So in the middle, I'm really going to go for it. And I'm going to go really quite opposite. So, not showing you colour yet. Now this is where you bring in the metallic that goes with what you've got. I've got all water on the desk, and now my pens are in it. So that's the, now, there we go. So now don't put too much on of this. It'll end up like a tart sandbag. So, oh sugar, sorry. It's one of my mum's sayings. Not wrong with a tart. Jam tart, they're alright. I don't eat it myself, like, but so now I can still see all the details. You might not be in the light, but I can see all the details. And I'm going to put them back in. So we've got that. Match it up with a little bit on all of them. Like that. Just to give it a bit of colour, so unity. And then what would look nice is if you had, see this border. You know, if you wanted to do the border, so I'll show you now. Oh, sorry. Right, nib size is I would really invest in these, a 0.05, and you can get a 0.03. The normal ones I use when I'm drawing, when I draw my stamps, I use a 1, and when I'm drawing with you guys, I use a 5 and a 7. There's a big difference. So there's a 1, and this is an 8. And there's a big difference in nibs. Let me show you. You see the size of that nib? It's well used. That one is hardly anything on it there. So that's a 0.05. There's a 1. This is an 8. So I use a 0.05 a lot and a 1. And I like to use them because I get, like if I use the heavy one, it looks different. Right, and I use uni pen. You can get them a set of 10 from the range, or a set of 15 for a tenner, all the sizes. And I use microns as well. But you might have to buy these separate. I buy 0.03. I'm just checking in my little case. I've actually run out of them. I've sold that many. And then you can get my all-time favourite expensive ones, which is Signo. You have to get these imported. I know. And these are imported. And the Signo Uniball DX. And this is a 0.38. So it's a writing pen. It's really fine. But it contains the same ink. So I'll show you. But yeah, you can use it as long as it's a permanent pen. It doesn't really matter what you use. I use these as well. So, you know, I use, oh, why's that lid off? The Pilot V5s. I use the Copic. Pens that you just get, cheap pens. These, Tsukanama. Oh no, these are Tombow. So all these pens work. Okay, I hope I've helped you there. You do use them all. I remember there was someone on telly, a gentleman, who said you only need one. You don't. There's a big difference. And it's because he doesn't use them in the same way. So if you're going to use them for one thing only, then you won't need all sizes. But I just remember that thinking, I use them all. I really do need them. So we've got this. I can use my pen. Just make sure that it is, I was going to say fire resistant. No, water resistant, not fire resistant. So just on these dots too, bring it together with that side there, so it looks like it's, instead of me just planting it a load of blobs on, I've actually done it. Yeah, so I've got that, and then the next thing is just get that, and then I had it all over my camera. It was so funny. Is it on it? No, I hope not. Right, so I flickered it on it, flickered it on. So here, can we see? I've got something else to do. Can you see all the flicks and stuff on it? I flicked some gold on it. So it looks like part of it. Okay, so we've got that far, which I really like. It's still dampish, but here we go. These pens are amazing. Let them dry, but then you can draw over them if you want. If you feel, you know, what you call it, enough, stamp over it. So we've got that lined up sort of pretty well, like that. And we've got some little bits to do in the middle. So give me a minute, because there's one thing I didn't get out. One thing I didn't get out. And this makes all the difference. So invest if you can, and you want to do this more, because you know you'll see this on telly. I really like this, so I'm going to be using it as a template as well. So if you've got, well, there's a one with the wrong lid on. If you've got coloured pencils, gold, silver pens, whatever, use them. So I'm going to move that across there. So now I've got a fine white. Okay, so check it. Yeah, a jelly roll, and it's a 10. So I'm just going to go in now and break up some of these. Again, careful that it's, you know, you don't want a tartan bag, or you might. So I'm going to go around the edge, but I'm going to do it in a dotted line like that, because it's dark and light. So if it's too much, just dab it off with your finger, and you can always add more. So again, because I don't want it to become comical. And by that, I don't mean that in a funny way. I just mean you'll see a lot of things that are, like we call comical, that are bright, and you get like a cherry with a line on it in white, and that makes it look like it's like got the light on it. Well, that's fine, but that's not exactly what I want to do. I want to bring my bubbles in. As I said, I can still see these. You can do it with your black pen, but this is how I get the most from my gel plates. I use them as a starting point, as a background. I use them to work on top of. I use them to mood along like this. And I would never get all those wonderful backgrounds that you see if it weren't for, you know, biting the bullet or whatever it's called, and getting the gel plate out. And once you start, oh, it's hard to stop. You get addicted to it, because if you might be a colour combination that you've never tried, and you're like, oh my word, that's it, I love it. And then that's when, you know, the gates open. Now again, this is stamping card, so your pen may react slightly different to it, but that's all part of it. It's all part of the process of learning. So I've just put some white ones in there. I can see now it needs a bit of weight over here. So, yeah, you get me? And maybe one in there. There we go. You can see it better than me, actually. So we've got that definition there. Run the line across. So yeah, get yourself some black pens and some white pens, and honestly, you're moodling. It'll just take on a new dimension. And your gel plates. So everything I'm doing now, I can do with a pencil as well, not just this. So we've got that. Just one, before I finish this, there's something else I've got to do. Thank you, Judith. I'm just trying to read out part and all your lovely comments, and I'm not getting them right, all of them. I'm going to get a bigger brush, and I've got all this lovely colour on here, and I don't really want to waste it, so I'm going to mop the lot up like that. Oh, you can't see it, but I've mopped it up. I'll try and bring it across for you like that. And it might look dense on there, believe me, it's not. You see that? Start just near the edge. Now why I'm doing this is it won't look like a messy background anymore. It'll look like it's part of the card. So there's a reason. I'm giving it like almost like a layering effect, but I'm not using paper. This is where you really do need waterproof pens. If I was to do this on anything else, I'll be running like mad. And don't forget, I've got a bit of gold on it as well. So I saturated it. It looks okay, but I need to do what I did before. I'm using the big brush, don't worry. I'm just going to drop in. If you have got a paint on it that you don't like, the beautiful thing about watercolours is they wash off. All I'm trying to do is create layers so that the top and the bottom, it almost looks like it's sat on layers. I'll put it against something else in a minute to show you. Right, so I'm going to wet all the edge like that. Looks mad, I know. And then I'm going to get my purple. I think I'll use the violet again. And I'm just going to get a wash of colour there. I don't want a lot. Add water. I'm just going to, a bit more. Just going to put a mere suggestion. Oh, that's a bit strong. That's it. Just let it sit on the edge. But not too straight. That looks like a straight line. So clean your brush off, blend it. I'm going to go around to this side now. And all I'm doing today, because I've already got water on it, it's not going to sink straight in. So again, use your brush like an eraser, clean off any excess water on it, and then you can use it as a mopper upper. Right, so just bring that there. Right, I'm just going to move this up a bit for you, because otherwise you're just going to be looking at my pajamas. No, you're not. Come back. Right, okay, so we've got this. So remember what it looked like? It looked like one of these. Yeah, that was all different. I mean, it won't sit on that one, but if I was to put in, you know, maybe a bigger version of that, goes with that. But I'll just drop it now on some white because I'm only going to be an hour tonight. Oh, look at that! Not even an hour. There you go. Looks like there's a couple of layers on it. And we've only used one, the colours that were on it and the metallics that are already in it, and we've got that, and then I've already made a mess on there, but you can see it's saturated, so you do need to let that dry. So what a nice card to make. So I'm just going to clean that up. I love purple and green. I always have done. Stamping card is a sort of card that picks up the colour straight away. Look at that, it's gorgeous. It doesn't sit on the top, it picks it up straight away. So it doesn't wishy-washy around. So I'm going to see now if perhaps yeah, okay. So I've got this. So I'm going to go back to what we did the other night and show you that I'm not going to, well, I'm going to do it now, but I'm going to show you what I mean by creating a background for that. You don't have to do this at all, but this is just to show you how you can go one step further. If you want to keep it white, or a blend of colours, whatever you want. But if you want to use what we did the other night, then you can do this. Just trying to, I'm using bright purple, and then I'll go with I'm going with sap green, which is a yellow green. So just put the colours on. So I've got my I've just had it in my hand. Where's that bloody well gone? Oh, you're joking. There it is. Right, these are called wisps. I did them the other night. Wet your brush always. So let's do a little quick background. So I'm just using my wisp brush. Now I'm just painting the background. There's a wibbly wobbly one, but there is one there. So just do one side and let's see what the other side. Ooh, nice. So I'm going to do a bit more. Sorry, I'm off camera, but I can't put it. I'm not being careful with this, I'm just flinging it on. Try and make sure that the strokes that you use are continuous. You don't want like breaks. If you do, it don't really matter because you can change direction and make it look like a knot or something. But bear in mind you're only using it in certain places. So what I mean by that is you're only going to say you only want that bit. So I'm just going to darken the edge by flicking it on. Now I'm going to go with this one, clean it, and you can start another trick is to start on and off. So what I mean by that is, oh, there we go. Come back, so sorry. Right, what I mean by that is you go off, you start off and then And if you want darker ones, more paint or ink or whatever it is that you're using. If you want, like, I can show you because this is going to be behind, but if you want like ragged fabric, it's like creates jars in it, or you know where the hessian sometimes moves away. Yeah, great effect. To do this with paint on the surfaces looks good, but this might be too much for what I'm doing. But just to show you that, you know, we've got that background, we've done those things the other night, let's use it. Plus it was only 50 minutes, which is a bit of a shocker. Can't do 50 minutes, it's shocking. So I'm going to clean that up. Oh, that's pretty, isn't it? You see the green and the purple together, wonderful. So let's look at this now. So we've got that background, we've got the one we did. Yeah, it might be too much, but you could always cut round that and do another layer, or you can just put it on that. So I'll show you on that again. That was only a little what we did, and I don't, you can't see the colours, but they do match, but I think I prefer it like that. I think that's got more, for me anyway, because of the metallics. I like that one better, I think. But that one is always, you know, if I was to put that on there, that's cool. Let's try this one. You know, total differences of textures. Let's go with those. Where's those texture ones? Oh yeah. Hang on. Let's see what these look like. Too much that, I know that, but I'm just looking at them because I'm like mesmerizing. Don't like that at all. No. Let's see what this one. No, but I would use that for a background and put black on it and white, and then a layer of purple and have it layered up. That's a background, but I do love that one now, and I hope that surprised you with what it's done. You know, that you can see. I'm just trying to read. The wash on the perimeter, yeah, it did, didn't it? So, you know, it looked before like it was messy, but now using that, if you just stick to those colours, yeah, Glynis, that's true. That really does make a difference. I'm glad it looks like you're liking that. We've got some others. Hello, Denise. Oh, the bouncer's in. Bruiser. Hi, Judith. Hi, Elaine. Sets the whole thing off, Elaine. Yeah, it does. It really does. I mean, you can see it on the light, but just these little flicks here just gives it something else. And it was like a scrappy design, which we thought, you know, when you think that they start out like that and that, you know, that'd be a beautiful one to do, but they start off just a background. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'll be doing one over the weekend because it looks like I can't do it, so it might be Sunday now at my usual time, because I can't do them with everybody else having slots. I don't want, it's only fair that I fit in with them. But I'm still doing all my I'm doing my lives at 12, don't forget, and I've got me, it might be Saturday or Sunday, or depends on when we've got a match. So it looks like Sunday at the moment. So hopefully you will all stay warm because it's freezing. And if you need to know what pens are used, please go on my Amazon page. You don't have to buy them from there because that is an affiliation page. But what you can do is just look at what I've been talking about and perhaps using them. I used a black pen and a white pen. I used the inks, which you can use paints. My new stamp, which I'm glad, I hope you like. I'm using my new stamps more now, this week now they're back. And yeah, might even give that away to somebody who might like it. So if you like the gel plate, I perhaps can do it with pens and stuff next time to show you how to do it with Eureka lines that I used to sell as well. All right, so massive amount of love. I can't believe I'm on time, an hour, and we did that. Not bad, eh? Not bad. Up here for thinking, down there for dancing. So I'm going to love you and leave you, and I will see you all over the weekend. Ooh, 5 inches of snow. Ooh, no, thank you. We had a bit, and then the sun. It was sunny and snowing. It was really weird. I'm going before. All right, so hope you enjoyed that. Please let me know what you like to see, and then I can always get down to sorting it out. But boom, did it. Love it. See you later. Bye. Why did it just sound like Kermit? Kermit. Kermit, my lovely.